everybody. Welcome back to Ghosting with Anya. I'm your host, Anya Smith, also an author of Anya's Ghost Stories Volume 1 and Volume 2, The Return of the Dead. Those two novels. I'm nearly almost finished writing my second novel. So on today's story, we are doing the episode of it. The name of this story is actually called She Heard Footsteps Before She Had a Visitor. That's a new one. So today's January 7th, and yesterday was January 6th, and it was my nephew's birthday. So he is 2 years old, and he's got his birthday present. He's got his new race car bed, and he is happy because my boyfriend bought this new race car for his nephew. Our nephew's name is Wyatt Evan Blake. He's just so adorable. He's still a little baby, but he's only 2. He's, growing up so fast. I am so happy that he got his wish that he always wanted. So anyway, I hope you guys are ready for a lot of new things. Sorry, my throat can be very dry for no reason. That's why I need to hydrate a lot. Not just soda, also water. I've got my water. Okay, that's a little bit better. So anyway, we are live streaming right now. Thank you guys for subscribing. I want to thank you guys for following me on TikTok, including on Instagram. So I hope you guys are ready for the next one, because so I am still reading Stephen King. He's right here. It's called Wizard in Glass, The Dark Tower number 4. I hope you guys are ready, because I am still reading. I mean, I need a little break sometimes, but I never give up on reading. So it's a really good book. I have never, ever read Stephen King books, but I have seen his shows, like a movie or something. So anyway, thank you guys for following me here. So sorry, my eyes can be very dry too, but I've got some eye dust in my eyes. But anyway, I was just sitting here scrolling through TikTok, and I get a lot of likes on my profile, and people do, I don't know, comments on my profile or something like that, like videos I post on, that sort of thing. One of them said that I am a bleeding heart. I don't know why it said that. So if you guys think I'm a bleeding heart, you can leave me a comment down below right here on YouTube. So anyway, let's get started on this story. I hope you guys are ready, because I need you guys to listen very carefully. So let's get started. So this is story number 72. We are on season 4, and thank you guys. And I just want to say Happy New Year to all of you, and let's get started on this story. Please click like, share, and subscribe to this channel So let's get started. She heard footsteps before she had a visitor. Ooh, I'm thinking she might be psychic or like she knows before things started happening. Something like that. Anyway, so just sit back, relax, and maybe get something to drink, or like before we get started on this story, if you guys need to go to the bathroom, please do before I start reading. So anyway, let's get started. You can go under the covers if you like, and let's get started. This is story number 72 of season 4 of Ghosting with Anya. So please click like, share, and subscribe, and enjoy this new story. The footsteps began before Anya ever heard a knock. At first, they sounded distant, soft pacing outside the house. Late at night, she assumed it was passerby or a neighbor's guest, but the steps returned night after night, growing closer, more deliberate, as though measuring the distance. Eventually, the footsteps moved onto the porch. She heard them stop directly outside her door, lingering there long after comfort allowed. Still, there was no knock, no voice, just presence. The silence afterward felt intentional, like restraint. That's a little weird. It's a little creepy, but hey, it happens. One night, she opened the door suddenly, heart racing. The porch was empty, but the footsteps continued. Now inside the house, she heard them move down the hallway behind her, matching her pace. When she turned, stopping when she stopped. The next morning, muddy footprints appeared on the floor, leading from the front door to her bedroom. They stopped inches from her bed. Whatever had arrived didn't need to announce itself anymore. It already knew where she slept. Okay, that's a little insane. So, I hope you guys heard that. So this story is kind of creepy, but I mean, if it ever happened to me, so I would probably want to know why. I would literally just try to figure it out where the footsteps come from, like why the spirits are like choosing the person live in the house where the footsteps would show up. I mean, who do these footprints belong to? That's my concern. That's what I would be asking. I mean, seriously, why would these footsteps decide to show up at the door of the person? I mean, this living person, I mean, doesn't know where did those footprints come from and why are they doing the same thing that she's doing? I mean, come on, this story could be about myself, like me. I'm not even hearing footsteps right now. I can only hear like my neighbor's footsteps. I mean, they're going in and out so many times. The walls are very thin. they are very thin because I could hear it from the other side. I mean, my neighbors are going in and out of their apartments and to the front door. They're probably moving. So either they're moving in or they're moving out. Either way, but I could still hear them. I would not hear the footsteps from a spirit. Maybe the spirit is probably think it still lives there because the spirit probably thinks it belongs to him or her, or whoever the spirit may be. So let's get to the questions. Why do the footsteps arrive before the visitor? Perhaps maybe this woman probably knows that maybe she could hear the spirit's footsteps before someone else shows up at the door. I mean, maybe she might be psychic. Would that mean I might be psychic? I might be, but I would never know what could happen next. I mean, I don't have that kind of knowledge. I wish I did, but I don't. So, maybe it's because she could hear it a mile away before the visitor even showed up. Perhaps the spirit or the living is probably miles away. No wonder why she could hear the footsteps. Or maybe it's because somehow she knows what could happen before the footsteps even reach the door, reach the porch somehow. But maybe she already knew. Maybe she could imagine what could actually happen. So let's go to number 2. What does delayed confrontation create psychologically? Well, it probably can be delayed. That's a very interesting question that I never had this question before. I mean, spirits can manipulate everything, whatever they can, tell lies or whatever or the truth. But confrontation is confront someone about their stories, that sort of thing. I mean, spirits, they can manipulate everything. Humans can be manipulated by anything, by anybody. So psychologically, I think the spirits are not telling where do they really come from and how can we clearly hear the footsteps and see the footprints, even though we can't really see anything, anything invisible, say a ghost. If you can't see a spirit, might as well just not be a psychic person for that. Spirits just like to think that the house actually belongs to them, not to the living. Maybe they are the previous owners or something from the past. But us, the living, would not understand it. But they have to I don't know, look into the background and see what's the history with this house and what really happened in a house, who died, and why can one person see a spirit and the other one can't. So let's go to number 3. Why is restraint more frightening than aggression? Perhaps maybe the living who lives in the new house that bought from the previous owners, perhaps they're afraid because they don't want to believe it, that spirits can be very frightening. I mean, come on. my mom's afraid, but she can't admit it that she doesn't want anything to do with it. I mean, come on. If I were that person, I would literally want to know what's going on. I would literally want to investigate it. I mean, spirits, all they want to do is figure out how to move on, and I would want to know what's going on with it too. I would literally would want to confront whatever was in front of me or not in front of me. If I can't see that person, I would have to be very brave enough to confront the spirits. So, if you guys have any opinions, you can leave me a comment down below. So, let me know what you guys think of the story and these questions. The aggression, probably, I think it's maybe because the spirits are angry that the living is taking everything from the spirits. These ghosts are angry because they think we took the stuff from them and the house, because they're angry because they're no longer alive. That's what makes them very aggressive. And they don't know how to accept that they're dead. No wonder why they're angry so much. No wonder why they make so much weird noises. And the house can be very creaky because of the dead. And they don't know that they're dead. No wonder why they're so aggressive and angry. Because they can't accept it. Because nobody told them they are passed on. Why does presence without visibility imply? Perhaps maybe the presence of a person like who actually lived in the house previously, like when he or she was alive, does not know why that person's dead. Well, maybe it's because that spirit somehow was once a living, breathing human, once lived in that house, and somehow suddenly that person passed away and became trapped in a house. And the visibility, which is part, like, it's like some kind of, I don't know, magic or whatever. If the living can't see the spirit, which means they don't have the ability to see and hear the dead. So let's say I wanted to see the dead, but I would not know which one would be, and I would actually have to do a seance, so that way I could literally see the ghosts. So clearly, it just, not everyone can have the ability to see the dead because they weren't born with the power to see ghosts. Like, if you guys ever watched the show called Ghost Whisperer or Long Island Mediums, something like that, and this lady actually was born with powers that can see ghosts and hear them somehow. She talked about how her powers came to her somehow, maybe, or somehow she was given a gift of seeing spirits and talking to them. Perhaps she embraced it instead of like rejecting it, and she would try to help the ghosts move on. But not everyone can have that power. Not clearly, but if it was me, I would want to know. I would literally truly accept the gift of seeing dead So, and you see why my eyes are not like other people's eyes. I mean, come on. The reason why my eyes go different directions because I'm tired, extremely tired, because I've been up since 8 o'clock this morning. So it is like 10 o'clock in the morning. It's been like 2 hours now. So let's go to number 5. So the reason why I'm tired is because I've been up since 8. And this story is trying to, well, it's like a portal. I read those the ghost stories to get the spirits to come out so I could try and talk to them, trying to move on, like help them move on. And the only way I could do it is trying to communicate with them somehow, but it happens. All right. Why does the sound move indoors? Well, perhaps maybe the spirits think the house belongs to them and they can come in whenever they want to. But if the person who clearly is still alive would not want the spirits to come in because they don't appreciate spirits come to the house and mess with everything. I mean, come on. Spirits do this all the time. And they want to be noticed. They want to be heard, acknowledged. They want to be helped finding their resting place somehow, trying to figure out what happened to them, and they don't know what happened. They would need to go back to the beginning where it happened. They could get closure for that, like justice, who did it, and why it happened. They think they might still be living in that house, but they don't anymore because the living bought the house and they decided to do what they want to do with it. So spirits move to indoors because they think it belongs to them, but it doesn't belong to them anymore. They're no longer alive. They have passed away, and they literally need to find somewhere to rest in peace, like go to heaven or something, figured out how to move on. But sometimes they can't because they don't know what's going on. They're afraid to be judged somehow, but it happens. What does the stopping point signify? Well, it's probably because to stop the point of it is like stop messing with people's things. Like the living that lives in a house doesn't want to hear any noises and doesn't want to like mess with anything or whatever. They just don't want the spirits to mess with anything. They don't want to make the noise. Spirits want to be acknowledged. And what's the stopping point for it? Humans don't want to hear anything. They just want to be left alone. And spirits, they can't help it. They just want to be noticed. They want to be helped somehow. But us, the living, they don't know. We don't know how to help the spirits move on and stop making all those noises. It like disrupts everyone's focus on other stuff. It just happens. Spirits don't know they're dead and they don't know how to find their way into heaven. It's just they're trapped and they don't know how. But they're trying to communicate with the living, just trying to figure out a way to get helped. Okay, let's go to number 7 and we can sign off from there. Would you still call it a visitor? Maybe. If it was a good spirit, I would want to visit with a ghost. If it was the intruder, I would try to figure it out what it wants. Let's say if my ancestors came to visit, even though they're dead, but I would want to call them not just visitors, but also family. If they can be visitors, they can be, but they would probably just want to, I don't know, watch over us or whatever. They want to come visit, they can, as long as the humans are okay with it. But if they're not okay with it, there's no reason for ghosts to break it into the human world and like appear out of nowhere in front of the people who are still alive. Clearly, they just don't know how to stop. So it is what it is. But anyway, we are out of time. So thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys next week. We'll be doing story number 73. It is called Something Was Wearing Her Face. That is the new story. Still season 4 on episode 73. That would be next Tuesday. And so we'll figure it out. We have to do some research about all this, but you know, I'm tired as hell. That's why I can't keep my eyes open. So anyone, if you want to hear more stories, all you have to do is leave me a comment down below right here on YouTube, and we'll figure it out of all these questions and stories. But other than that, thank you guys, and we'll see you all next week. And please click like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday. It's called Something Was Wearing Her Face. Story number 73. So thank you guys, and we'll see you soon. Happy New Year to you all, and we'll see you guys another time. Bye.